Now I've been dreaming of my past. I get asked now and then what I love. That's life, that's right. But even now and then what we got's not enough to pay rent. We get depressed and start wondering where it all went. It seems silly. For some, life is too pretty, so we got to have more for that some to keep living. And just like that some, we've been taught to hide feelings and tie yellow ribbons when we ought to stop killing. I checked. That ain't found on a ballot slip, so not a lot of living seems what we're bound to get, and the sound of it's the same as marching out of sync as destiny. Battle drum is deafening. Wow, defeat is too real when too fearful to speak, and the meek and discarded merely regarded as weak, and yet we reap what we sow, so we knew what came next. Some chose to give up, I guess they had no choice left. Time's up. Now tell me what we gonna do, cause before long be no more heroes left to look up to. And still I promise you, my friend, that come what may, I'm here until the very end.
The world came to an end yesterday. It was as grand and as epic and as cataclysmically destructive as we all thought it would be. How we were told from birth that it would be. In one instant, the sky turned gray and the ocean turned red. And any sound that any human made anywhere couldn't be heard above a horrible, distant screaming that you could swear was inside your own head. Heaven, or something very similar, exploded across half everywhere from somewhere far, far away. Hell, or something very similar, raced across the remainder of creation after it. They met on Earth. I suppose everyone saw their own version of what happened in those days. No matter what way everyone saw it, we all ultimately saw the same thing. Armageddon. The end of days, the apocalypse, a higher force sweeping through existence and all but wiping it out. The end of the world had come and gone. God and devil had proved themselves indisputably, undeniably, plausibly, and utterly real. For all to see, believe or not. And for all intents and purposes, their grand, legendary Armageddon ended in a draw. Half of heaven and hell are destroyed, and 9/10 of the human race is dead. But some of us are still here. Still here and alive, in a world that is no longer.
Neff has quite a few miles on him by the beginning of SoulExodus. In and out of trouble with the law as a kid, and doing routine business with Miami gang members as he got older, Neff eventually sought to leave behind the life of crime and violence he had created for himself and unwitting members of his family, like his younger cousin Sherilyn. Putting his size and bravado to successful use as a professional wrestler and having started a family, Neff thought his life was finally changed, until a particularly cruel twist of fate landed him in prison for a crime he felt compelled to take the rap for. After a 2-year prison sentence, returning home to a wife who's abandoned him and a daughter who barely knows him, Neff again attempts to put his life together when the end comes. Neff awakens alone and confused, emerging into the streets of Miami, which have been destroyed by the violent impact of angels and demons falling to earth from their battles in the sky. Though Neff's memories of the events leading to the destruction are shaky and disjointed, he soon discovers that he possesses extraordinary and unpredictable abilities. As the enormity of what has happened to the world and how he may be involved becomes clearer to Neff, forces unknown to him are also in motion, not all of them on his side. Sherilyn is Neff's younger cousin, though they've been closest siblings all their lives. The beginning of SoulExodus finds Cher, like her cousin, in a phase of rebuilding a life previously troubled by addiction and conflict. Cher awakens from a terrifying and prophetic dream to the discovery of a mysterious scroll in a box once owned by Neff's estranged wife, at one time Cher's best friend. As civilization literally crumbles around her, and as the dreams become too dire to ignore, Cher decides to seek out her cousin, believing him to have the answers as to the nature of the destruction, or at least a few more pieces of the puzzle. Warriors from above fall to earth, causing further devastation. Though their battles have set fire to the very sky, these angels and demons become biologically human when they touch mortal soil. Some are able to fend for themselves, while others are not so lucky. A single demon has been taken captive by a group gathering forces as it moves through America's southeast with the intent to very publicly, very ritually execute it. Though the details are unclear, Neff discovers that he is linked to this demon and that it may have the answers he's seeking. He and his companions set out to find and rescue it from an increasingly dangerous group of people and their very frightening leader.
There will be a reckoning, but God will rise his people high above as the rest of the world falls away into oblivion. And those who have cowered in the shadows of these mortal years will be illuminated by fire, will shine as the children of divinity and prosperity, and burn for the sins of their fathers and their fathers' fathers, for so long, so far as those sins may reach. Praise the Lord. Be illuminated.